Previously on X-Men.
LRMs, clanner scum taking Gauss rifles flush to the phallus, and best of all, it's being developed by... No.
And now, the conclusion.
Sweetie. Fuck you. I was right. Piranha Games. If tripping on your own dick was an Olympic sport, they'd be the penile Prefontaine. And like their namesake, this past 2 weeks they found themselves pinned beneath the Buick of their own glue-guzzling goddamn stupidity. Meet the Epic Game Store's latest victim, MechWarrior 5, a game with more hopes pinned to it than Biden's hair plugs and more issues than Action Comics. A game originally announced as a single-player expansion for the tactical Twitch shooter MechWarrior Online, a game that professionally pissed in the mouths of the entire existing fanbase on multiple occasions, then half-assedly repackaged this as an all-new product, even though, from graphics to gameplay, little appears to have actually been altered from the original concept. Not that it wasn't altered at all. The targeting reticle, which in MechWarrior Online was roughly the circumference of Anderson Cooper's dick in a wet t-shirt contest, has been incrementally expanded to appear closer to the original titles, where the player effectively aimed his disco ball-sized goddamn death orb in a general direction and pressed a button to make it a fucking parking lot. Good Piranha. Or the slightly more sluggish movement that feels more like the bipedal motherfucking murder fortresses we know and love from the BattleTech license. Good Piranha. Nice Piranha. But in the 7 or so years I've been acquainted with this studio, I've learned one thing, and one thing alone. Like an Amy Schumer Netflix flop, even their occasionally effective openings are merely the setup for the unintentionally gut-busting goddamn shit show to come. Oh, they may start with a scorching aside, but it all ends in gunt puns and pussy stink jokes for a fucking fact. Such was the case when MechWarrior 5, which had been available for pre-order with the phrase Steam key clearly included on the pre-order page it fucking self, for months on end without a hitch, dropped the other shoe and let us all know if we actually wanted to play the fucking thing on PC, we'd only be able to on the Epic Store, making the 20,000 or so Steam keys you pre-ordered null and fucking void. Oh, but it gets better. For scheduled weeks in advance, might I add, and delayed to the exact date of the announcement as a result of technical difficulties the week before, was an Ask Me Anything session on goddamn Discord, and sweet clanner cock piercings, was it ever a goat fuck and a half.
This is not a short-sighted decision. Like, this was actually the better decision for the game, for giving it a better chance of being successful, a better chance of being, a hit game. We've been on Steam for a number of years with MWO, and the discoverability on there is very, very difficult. MechWarrior Online has, you fall off the front page within moments, essentially. And with the Epic Game Store, the store is much earlier. It's not as well featured, and they're working on it. But a benefit is that there's only about a game a week going onto the store. It's going to disappear off that front page of Steam in no time. But with the Epic Game Store, it's going to sit there front and center for a very long time. I don't know how long exactly. Weeks and weeks, perhaps months and months. When the pre-order happened, you were there, you pre-ordered, you supported us, and at the time you said it was going to be a Steam key. So my expectation for sales for MechWarrior 5 are to be just as high or higher than if I'd gone on Steam. The game has a much better chance of being a successful product, both in the quality and in the size of its sales and success rate.
It's all bullshit. All of it.
So the pre-order did about 20,000 pre-orders. So far, before I came up to this AMA, we received about 700 requests for refunds.
The rationale for the move was lunacy incarnate. We'll be able to make more money releasing on a platform with barely 1/10 the user base because humana Steam takes a higher percentage, which is a hard sell indeed when you consider you'll be lucky to move a micro fraction of the copies you could have if you hadn't faked us the fuck out to begin with, due entirely to torpedoing our trust, if nothing else.
And I trust this doesn't alter our agreement.
I trust you know 2% nothing's fucking nothing.
Look, I'm no no fan of fucking Steam. Obsessed as I am with the importance of physical property rights, I've long lamented the erosion of such for the illusion of convenience via cloud-based delivery systems such as Steam. I've made this case, and I've done so fucking repeatedly, most notably in an audio rant that was originally exclusive to my website entitled The Case for Physical Media.
The greater casualty by far has been consumer property rights. In short, if you don't own any property, you have no rights. Short of roving Kotick murder squads going door to door and doing so, Activision can't do shit to seize my physical copy of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, but if that copy is suddenly digital, I love Steam as much as the next cat, but if you see those purchases as anything but the glorified fucking rentals they truly are, then you have bypassed the fine print entirely and are now huffing hard hype, cloaked beneath the verbose barrage of confounding legalese that for all we fucking know signs our nuts up for the Russian space program with a single mouse click. Digital sales, download by download, bundle by humble bundle, have sold our property rights down a river so narrow it doubles as Jim Sterling's mind. So call me a Luddite if you will, say digital distribution is the future, as it undoubtedly is, so long as you also understand that not every future is Star Trek, asshole. Some futures look more like Blade Runner.
I say this so you understand I ain't gargling Gabe's ballsack skin when I say selling a game on Steam, only to bait and switch when Epic parks a backhoe at China's chinion up to your office is fuckery in the first degree. Not because Steam is the sovereign ruler of my ass, because it ain't, but because we bought something and then you asshats unbought it for us. There's a term for that. Star Citizen. But the other term is shell game. You can cry about Steam's percentages, you can crunch all the lopsided numbers about why this is actually 4.5D underwater deep space moon chess, motherfucker. Double down and deep throat all the empty rationales you like. It won't make the bait and switch right, bitch. Did I mention refunds are open till September 1st? One day, MechWarrior may well be out of the hands of Canadian incompetence. Harebrained Schemes certainly schooled their asses with a BattleTech reboot, at least insofar as the story actually felt as if it was set in the proper fucking universe for once. But on the sim front, at least for the time being, it's slimmer pickings than a Venezuelan salad bar. I'm Razor Fist, for the glory of Merrick!
I need a fiddly note, the open sea is all I know. I need a fiddly day. A pirate's life for me, hey!
Uncle Toddy, the one and only question that matters, why should we not refund? Well,